Hi, and welcome back to
Inspired to Game. I'm Sean.
And I'm Lola. If you enjoy what you see here, please support our channel by subscribing down below.
And if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. And just think, if you tell two people and they tell two people, pretty soon the whole world will know.
Today we are talking about photosynthesis. Not only are we doing a review of this really great game, but we also have a copy to give away. This is our very first giveaway on this channel. I am so excited about it, and I want to thank Blue Orange for giving us this copy to give to one of you. This giveaway will be open to North America. We will front the shipping for you. All you need to do is subscribe, like, and comment down below. I've actually been thinking I'm really interested to see where our viewers come from. So if you want to comment and let us know where you're from, I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I also want to say you have a chance to be entered in a second time if you take this video and share it on your social media. Tag us so that we know, and you will get double the entries to win photosynthesis. And if you have the game, you can still enter. Give it to a friend, give it to your family. It's a fun game. Spoiler alert. We will be doing the draw in 3 weeks' time, and we will drop a comment on the comments below so that you will get an email and know if you have won the game. And just so you know too, we have some more giveaways planned in the upcoming future, so you might want to stick around. Now, before we get into our review of this game, we are going to show you a little of how it plays. In photosynthesis, you'll take your variety of tree. You'll be laying seeds that then you can grow into small trees, into medium trees, and then into large trees. These large trees can be returned to the earth, earning you victory points. Light is your currency. The larger the tree, the more light you will earn. But be wary of shadows, as they will prevent you from earning light. As turns progress, the sun rotates around the board, changing the shadows at every round. The winner will be the player that has earned the most victory points. So Photosynthesis was a game that joined our collection probably about 5 years ago, and I can say for nearly a year it was in my top 10 games. What I really loved about it is that it's perfect information. What that means is that there is no luck component built into the game. It is all pure strategy. At the same time, it's light and family friendly. This is a game that anybody can play. It can make a good gateway game for those who, so if you have friends or family coming over that aren't used to lots of games, but it's also strategically interesting enough for a gamer to really dig their teeth into.
It's a lot like chess or checkers, that it's simple strategy that you can learn easily, but and I don't know, I've said it before, easy to learn, tough to master, but it is, you learn the moves and then you just develop your strategy from there. It can be a simple strategy, it can be more difficult as you progress, but it is, because it's that pure strategy type of game, it's open for everybody.
Yeah. And chess is what it's always likened to, and I think that's a really apt description of it. It's very similar, but instead of each of your pieces having variable powers, the trees have variable powers in their heights and in their location, so where they are respective to where the sun is coming in. And what's interesting about that is it's always shifting and it's always changing as the sun moves around the board. So in one location where you might take a hit because maybe you have a really good tree, maybe it's your top 3 biggest tree of all, but there's something else of a 3 size in front of it, so it's going to be fully in shadow. Well, once it rotates to that next place, it's not going to be. So there's variable play there, and there's a lot of thinking ahead you can do. There's a lot of strategy you can play with it. That to me has always made it really dynamic, and even though it's not one that makes it to the table all the time anymore, it's one that stayed in our collection, and it's one that still comes out on occasion, and it's still one of my favorite games. One thing I've always loved about it is it's peaceful. I love anything about nature too, if you know me. So I love the theme of it. It's light, it's peaceful. Now, one thing we also have to talk about is player level. When you go into the various forums and groups, you will have some people call it cutthroat, which always seemed interesting to me because I've never really seen that side of it. And I wonder if people refer to it like that, mainly playing it at the higher player counts. So a caveat on this whole review is we've only played it at the 2-player, which is where I prefer it, because it does mean that the board is much more open. There's much less vying for space, and it makes it easier. It's kind of like with playing Settlers of Catan, right? Like if you have less people, you have more space and breathing room to move. But there's lots of people who prefer it for players, because they like that extra stress. They like that extra vying for space. I tend to like a more peaceful, friendly game, so I do like it at 2 players. But it works in either case, whether it's more or less. In that respect, I guess there's like an element of area control. So more players, it means that you're going to be fighting a little bit more. But what's great about that too is the trees are always moving. So once you get those big, hogging, massive trees, well, you are going to want to bring them back to get those victory points. The victory points always start highest, so the first people that get their trees killed first and composted, they will get the highest points, and then that clears out the space for more growth. So it's really a dynamic cycle that really nicely mirrors nature, and I really love that.
I said one of the interesting things about the strategy is you get that tallest tree, you're going to get points from pretty much any position of the sun, but you're also not scoring any points that way. You're going to get points to plant more trees, but you're not going to want to leave that tallest tree in there for very long, because you do want to get those points before everybody else does, and drives the point values down.
Yeah, and you won't always get it from that tallest tree, because if somebody has the same height of tree, if it's in front and there's the same, it will block it, but you will be getting a lot more sun, and you want to be able to milk those points, because all of those light points that you get, those are your currency to put out more trees to make them grow bigger. But an interesting point to mention too is, as at least for those 2 tallest trees, you only have 2. So if you've got them both out there, you can't put any more out. So you have to at some point cycle them as well. Yeah, so it keeps it cycled and it keeps it moving and dynamic. Yeah, so even though it is a lightweight game, it is still fairly thinky. But like chess, it can be as simple as you want. Like our kids were playing chess by the time that they're 5 years old, but obviously they're playing it at a different level than what an adult would play or an experienced player would play. It's like that too, and that's where it's a good gateway, because somebody who isn't as used to games, well, they can play it and they can have a good game. Somebody who is more of a gamer and has more of a strategic mind that can manage multiple turns and thinking far ahead, they can be playing the game at a deeper level. And they could be playing the same game together. Well, I think that's what we have to say about photosynthesis today. It is a really beautiful game. If it looks interesting to you, subscribe, comment down below, and like to enter in for your chance to win this.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Check out some of our other videos, and as always, happy gaming, folks.